he was getting a lot heavier punishes off of his chain grabs. These two will chain grab.
That was unusual, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's always usually that much of a blowout in the Sheik Ditto, and then Plank actually went Fox. So we'll see.
I think Hat's the blue Sheik, correct?
Yes.
Already definitely a solid opening. Gonna see chain grabs from these two, of course. Always makes for a more defensive style Sheik Ditto. Usually don't see like I don't know if you remember Mewtwo King versus Pluff at CEO, but it was a very aggressive, interesting Sheik Ditto, mainly because they didn't have chain grabbing on.
It's just such a big risk-reward factor that
absolutely,
because grabs just can be converted into death.
You can't risk losing your entire stock from 0 to getting 1 grab.
And it's funny, if you ever ask these two, oh, do you guys do chain grabs or not? They laugh at the idea of not doing chain grabs. These two love to chain grab each other. And honestly, I like to see that too because Sheiks should chain grab each other.
Yeah, it's definitely more optimal.
I couldn't show up to a match with like Yoshi and be like, hey, no chain grabs, right? With Sheik. So they should chain grab each other. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, makes sense. Hat just furthering this lead. Definitely accidental F smash there, unfortunate, but he's still got a full stock on Plank right now.
And this is a matchup where you really want to hold the lead. You want to be in control of who approaches you, because as soon as you have to approach, especially with Sheik, you have to take bigger risks, and bigger risks mean you might get grabbed by the other Sheik. So Hat here is going to look to really extend this lead, kind of play things slow and just punish it where he can. And if he can take this, he'll be up solid 2 stocks here. So
really solid play from Hat so far. Well, and clips him with the needles there, only 3%, but he didn't get hits. That's the important part. Just tacking on little bits of damage at a time. Oh, wow.
Very interesting there.
Was he going on stage? Is that what happened there?
Sheik's up B is one of the biggest mysteries in Melee. I have no idea.
No one really knows.
Going for the tech chase there.
I think at the high teens and low 20s, it's really difficult to get the chain grab if they DI all the way out. It's much easier to just try to go for that tech chase.
Especially because just as old school players, I mean, now there's 20XX, so it's a lot easier, but it's always hard to kind of practice combos against Sheik if you have just regular Melee. So maybe it might be a little bit of unfamiliarity with chain grabbing each other, although these two do play a lot.
Absolutely. We're going to see the tech chase fair.
Very good reaction from him. And
once a Sheik starts having to up B onto the stage, it's pretty much over if the other Sheik plays correctly.
Yeah.
Or really if any other character plays correctly. Almost every character can edge guard Sheik very well.
She has a few mix-ups, but by and large,
the only mix-up that's like really, really good is the edge cancel on the up B, and that is so hard to do. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that consistently.
So Plank, little desperate, fishes for the forward tilt, but it was misspaced, so the grab just converts. Lost his double jump somewhere in there.
Hats.
And that's pretty much what we saw, or at least what I saw last time I saw these two play.
We're going to see the Puff?
Might see the Puff, might see the Fox.
Man. Let's go. We need more. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Y'all might not agree with me, but we need to have more Jigglypuff in this game.
As
nobody plays Puff.
As someone who had to play 2 Puffs today, I don't know.
Really? What? I know Conman was here.
Conman and the other, I'm forgetting his name now. It starts with a P. I played him round 2, and he scared me. He rested me like out of I just did like a back air or something. He just rested me out of midair.
Oh,
so it was really scary. But back to the match here. He goes Dreamland too, so he's got the extra survivability, which is very good. And Sheik doesn't necessarily it's not a bad matchup for her, but she can't do a lot of her normal Sheik stuff. She can't just go and grab. She can't just go and necessarily get forward tilts.
I honestly think this matchup is actually even. If you look at the way that Plup plays it with a lot of down tilts and really solid platform movement, it looks so difficult for Jigglypuff.
Yeah. And even in that set, though, I think you saw the air-to-air kind of interaction. I think Sheik ultimately wins. He was doing a lot of very interesting platform drops and shield drops to kind of convert against
It comes down to that even though Jigglypuff has a really great safe aerial, she has to commit to everything she does, whereas Sheik's falling speed lets her do something and then just get to the ground and shield when she wants to.
Exactly, and so what maybe we'll see from Plank, but what we saw from Hungrybox to adapt in that set at EVO is he started playing much more ground-based, where Sheik can't grab the crouching puff. As far as I know, she might be able to use her running grab, but her standing grab does not ground puff, so it's difficult for Sheik to grab, and crouch cancel is very, very important.
Very much so.
You can crouch cancel, dash attack, all of Sheik's tilts, and even down smash into a rest, so
It's
Sheik had to be
interesting.
very cautious.
I'm seeing a lot of falling down airs from Hat, and honestly, I would not have expected that to work, but so far it has been. He's gotten 2 that didn't hit but didn't get him hit, and 1 that got him a combo. And traditionally, I've heard that it's always a really bad option against Puff because of the danger of crouch cancel.
Yeah,
But
even
it
though
doesn't
down
seem
air
to be happening.
Even though down air kind of has like a trajectory similar to like a stomp or something, it actually doesn't beat crouch cancel as well as those other 2 moves, or as that move in particular.
And the miss from Hat, but he's still up almost to full stock. If he can just get a good kill pretty soon.
If he can get an up air, for sure will kill. I don't know. Forward air might kill because
I think forward air from the edge of the stage would kill. From here, maybe not so much.
So he's got to find a way to land that though, because he's not going to be able to very easily combo into it.
Ooh, and oh no,
messes
definitely not on purpose.
It's so hard to grab Puff. So those opportunities that you do get off of grab when you mess them up, it hurts just that
and
extra little
with
bit
the dash attack. It's interesting. I read. Have you ever read Kirby Kaze's guide on this matchup?
I have not actually.
He says that once Puff gets out of like the true crouch cancel range, it's actually fairly safe to go for dash attacks as long as you make sure to go past them. Oh, and did you see what happened there? He got messed up by the tree. The tree actually blew him away out of the range of the rest.
And that was also just a very interestingly spaced grabber. Like, Hat would have grabbed with the tip of his hand anyway, so it would have been hard to rest. I would have maybe liked to see him just go for a forward smash, get the guaranteed punish off of it.
It's interesting. It seems like Hat is playing this matchup really well, really knows it, and I don't think, aside from Aglet, who I don't really see around, there haven't been many Puffs around here in MDBA.
Come back, Ace of Flakes. We miss you. He is playing now, which is good to see.
Yeah.
But hopefully see him back on the PR soon. And not going for the rest there, that was very smart. Maybe he could have gotten a forward smash, it would have been difficult, but rest is off the table right now because if Sheik DI's down, she'll come back down from the respawn platform. Down throw, up air is a kill.
Yep.
So we'll see Hat kind of go for Needle Gun maybe, but...
Yeah, and that can actually be very difficult to get around as Puff. If you're starting to run low on jumps and they're needling you like that, it's really annoying.
And I remember PBMD talking about this too. It was more with Falco and using lasers to gimp, but the same idea applies.
Yeah.
Not Sheik's. Jigglypuff's first 2 jumps are actually a lot bigger in height than the rest, so if you can get rid of those first 2 jumps, it makes things a lot more awkward for Puff.
And the Puff players often
they
start to panic because they're like, oh, I'm running out of jumps. I'm Puff. I can't die like this, you know.
Yeah,
and then they just kind of recklessly jump into moves.
Oh no. Good punish on the pound. Just
Hat's just keeping center stage, keeping control.
And he hasn't really been crouch rested or crouch cancel rested, so he's definitely playing smart around that.
Actually, I don't think he's been rested at all.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
Yeah, that's always a good look.
He's been in the lead for a while too, so it's one of those things where as Puff, you don't necessarily want to trade the stock just to end up still down.
Yep, it's
very good pound, but unable to really convert there. Sheik was above Puff with a double jump still, so Puff could have jumped up and tried to go for it, but it was also a big risk, so he just held stage.
Ooh. A really solid back air there from Hat.
Almost killed.
Looks like, yeah.
That doesn't quite do it.
So hard to kill this character.
Sent across the long way of Dreamland, so got the best possible scenario there to get hit by forward air.
Man, that's going to close it out.
Take it. So at least he has some intel, though.
Yeah.
He has another set to play around with.
Do you think he's going to stay Jigglypuff?
I think he'll probably bring out the Sheik again for game 1 if I had to take a guess. But I think we might actually even see the Fox.
Really? Just kind of going through the character gauntlet, seeing what works, what doesn't?
And sometimes it's really hard to adjust that quickly if he just switches matchups that much, because playing against, Fox, Sheik, and Puff as Sheik is all very, very different matchups.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we see him go back. Maybe see a repeat of set 1 here on Battlefield. Hopefully Plank can turn things around. He really was dominated by Hat in the Sheik Ditto.
Yeah, it's a solid 3 stock if I remember correctly. And already it's looking like we got the percent advantage from Hat, and it kind of just looks like it's in his favor. Just in the way things are playing out.
Yeah, they're both kind of in an awkward position where they're trading who has center stage and not. They're doing a lot of zoning, but they're not exactly running into each other's moves. So they're kind of like...
Ooh, what happened?
Plank, very good awareness to not die there. I would have died there.
That was
I would have died there
really
every single
strange.
time.
I think it's because Plank was shielding and Hat rolled into him and it just pushed him right off. Alright, but getting back into it, still a pretty even game. And it looks like Hat's keeping center stage here, and they both just dash attack past each other.
See what punish you can get off of this. Maybe go for a back throw, set him off stage.
That makes sense. Get this that back air, and Plank takes the first stock.
So he will definitely want to try and sit on this lead as much as possible, but that grab is not what he wanted to happen.
Yeah, well, he gets away for now. But one fair or grab, or really anything at this percent, is going to seal it out for Hat. Oh, but
Very
he gets
good
the
recovery, and then holds down to not get sent off stage with the forward air.
Really important to do.
Unfortunately, had to up B on stage there just the way he came in, so that'll be an easy punish relatively for Hat.
We're back to an almost even game. Slight percent advantage for Plank. Might come in handy with crouch canceling later. We'll see.
Gets the grab here, so let's see how much percent he can tack on.
Big damage.
And if I was Hat, I would be kind of trying to no DI, but also DI behind him and try and get on that platform as soon as possible, but even still, at like 90%, he couldn't get on that platform, which is pretty crazy.
Yep.
Maybe back throw him off stage again. Oh no, and one pummel too many.
Yeah.
But he gets the cross-up
The interesting thing is that with down throw in this game, this only works for down throw. You can actually buffer it with the C-stick. So if you pummel and hold down on the C-stick, it will automatically down throw after with no chance to break out.
Yeah.
Which is actually very important because it guarantees you a pummel even at 0.
And for certain characters, especially a character like Sheik, where a lot of her early percent game is just racking up percent with pummels and grabs, she really needs to get every pummel she can get to start opening up her options. That
3% can be a big deal. It can mean the difference between getting crouch canceled and not.
So they're still just... this neutral's really interesting right now.
Yeah,
They're
it
just
feels
kind
like
of weaving in and out, trading positions with each other, but not really committing very hard to the point where they're opening each other up.
It feels like they both really respect each other a lot.
Yeah, definitely more slow paced than the last Sheik Ditto that we saw from them. And a lot closer too at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Gets the reverse forward air, Hat sending him off stage.
That's a big deal. That's really unfortunate for Hat.
Yeah.
Seems like he missed the needle turnaround or something.
What could have been an edge guard for Hat turned out to be a punish opportunity for Plank, and those are the turnarounds that make a huge difference when you're trying to come back. You need to hit every punish opportunity you can.
Oh no. Okay. Gets the down smash.
Pulls the mid-set counter pick. A rare strategy for sure, but transforms back as soon as possible.
Oh, wow. That was a really great air dodge from Hat. It's going to give him the stock.
I don't know a whole lot about the Zelda-Sheik matchup, but I think it's safe to assume that Sheik probably does better against herself than
horrible. Zelda. There's a Zelda main named Havaleko, shoutouts to that guy, in my home region, and that's the only matchup where he basically just won't play that character. It's really bad.
Yeah, I can see that. So, gets the reaction there, and punish is taking place with that forward air. So now he's got that one stock lead. He's really got to, if he can take game 1, it'll make a huge difference because it opens up a lot of his counter picks, especially because he has counter pick characters Plank.
Definitely.
So he could go Fox on FD or maybe Puff on Dreamland, and Hat.
Oh, is that gonna be it?
Hat also plays a lot of characters, but I would be more surprised to see him kind of counter pick character in this matchup.
Yeah, it seems like he's just trying to stick with Sheik, make it work with what he has. Gets the trade there, but big stage advantage for Plank.
Does the tomahawk forward air, kind of baits that jump out of shield there from Hat.
And I feel like that was not on purpose from Hat. They're doing the long get up and not getting the aerial that he probably wanted.
Yeah,
but that's going to be it for that stuff.
It's a lot harder to edge guard just in general because your options are slower, over 100%.
And especially, particularly against Sheik, because it's so solid to be able to hit, forward and know that you're covering both options. And you can't do that when you're over 100.
And Plank is getting punished super hard here, but luckily he gets out of the chain grab.
Yeah,
and
but if Hat can get one more grab, this could be his game.
Oh, for sure. He just needs to get Plank off stage and start racking up percent as he comes back repeatedly. Does a high back air there, and Hat actually very smart. He knows if the back air was high, he'll probably dash away, avoid getting grabbed, so he wave dashes out and chases after him.
Yep, but we're looking for Hat's trying to get this edge guard here, but misses. Oh man!
Tries to go for the read there.
So many flubs from both these players.
He sees the roll happen, but just a little off on that down smash.
And honestly, being it, all right, that's gonna be it. That was really close.
Plank gives a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely. That was a high-stress game, it looked like.
6 minutes, wow.
Wow, for a Sheik Ditto with chain grabs.
So we'll see what happens now with counter picks. I would be very surprised, yeah, if Hat switched characters.
Yep. It was too close to.
He's been so dominant in the Sheik Ditto from the last few times I've watched that he should definitely stick it. It's definitely his matchup for now, so maybe he can just make some adjustments and kind of bring this back.
I'm loving this movement from Plank. It's really slick wave lands. It's kind of running circles around the Hat.
Yeah, and then what's funny too is that this was Hat's counter pick, but Plank is definitely showing that he knows how to move around on the stage.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable. It's always interesting to see how counter picks work out in a matchup between two of the same characters, because it really comes down to player preference. And in this case, the preference of both players, because Hat probably knows where Plank doesn't want to go.
Yeah. And Plank just kind of throwing the forward air out there.
Yep,
Catches
that'll
it coming
be the
off the
first stock.
platform.
Got those lucky sevens.
Bad trade there for Plank. He's in a bit of a rough spot here, and see if he can get off ledge somehow. Hat goes for a bit of a risky grab, but doesn't get punished for it.
Yep, and that should be it. Oh. Is it gonna...
It's an interesting
Well,
down
yeah,
air.
whatever works, man.
Yeah.
If it worked, it was optimal.
And it clipped Plank out of his double jump. He didn't have a double jump. He never touched the ground, so that up air was very hard to avoid from Hat.
Yep. Oh, and the battle of the down tilts from these two. It's a very solid move, but it does have that weakness.
Plus, they can crouch cancel each other and just down tilt again.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see those interactions. Oh no. The air dodge actually goes unpunished.
Yeah, and
but
it kind of worked out for him, honestly.
But now Plank has got the punish right by the... Ooh,
so
wave
chain
lands
grab,
on and
really
gets the grab.
solid. Oh, wow.
Does a mini little drop zone off that platform. Tries to read Hat going on stage,
but Hat calls him out on it.
There are some interesting mix-ups that you can do, and can be really deceptive sometimes with Sheik's up B, but at any rate, Plank has cleaned up the stock.
The interesting thing is, I feel like Plank didn't actually have to read that. He probably could have continued to just back throw Hat over and over again, but he tried to get a really early end of the edge guard, and, you know, got punished for it. Yeah, and that should be the stock. Yeah. This is such an even set.
Oof. Narrowly avoids that grab. I'm loving Plank's pressure. He's putting a lot of pressure on Hat, not necessarily throwing out moves, but just moving around near his shield, and that's something Plank's been very good at for a long time.
Definitely.
Just throwing out 4 grabs there, trying to catch him, but Plank's normally... Oh man.
So many spot dodges. Look at the Hungry Box over here. Oh, it shouldn't be...
Down tilt
Does he have
him there.
He's got his jump.
Down smash sends him pretty far off stage. He'll have to use the double jump here.
Yep, and that should be it. I don't think he got his jump back.
No, he did not. So that was a very good edge guard from Hat. Ooh, narrowly misses the grab there.
He's rolling back and forth, just trying to stay one step ahead. And he's going to get the hit? No. It's a drop zone right there.
Each other.
Yep, and this could be a stock if Hat plays it really well. Yep.
And that's it.
Going to game 3.
Now we've got an interesting decision from Plank. Does he want to stick with the Sheik Ditto where he took a match? Or does he want to bring out Puff? Does he want to bring out Fox?
The Puff wasn't even that close, was it? It was like a 2-stock? Yeah, I don't really remember.
I can't quite remember. But at any rate, he decides to stick with Sheik. And I like this decision. You took a game with Sheik. You clearly have what it takes. Just make a couple small changes.
And you have to be confident. It's really easy to start going like, oh, I'm going to play this character. No, wait, this character. And it really hurts your confidence in your own like overall ability. When you start putting it on the character rather than yourself to just play a little better.
And he's already doing a good job this game of just... He's getting grabs. Oh no, misses up the down throw there.
Yeah, but definitely not on purpose.
And what I was about to say too, which unfortunately just changed, was that Plank was doing a really good job of keeping Hat in the corner, and that back throw really just ruined any momentum he had with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, just giving him the stage for free. Interesting down at a nair. Guess it worked out for him. Probably trying to go for the reverse fair there, misses.
Jumping over each other, trying to fish for a quick aerial, to push each other off stage, really grab stage.
Really good fair there from Hat, should steal the stock.
Oh no. And now Plank is in actually a pretty rough spot, but he does get the dash dance grab there.
Yep.
And up tilt.
Oh, and misses the fair, but gets the grab again.
Just goes for the simple conversion here, and he does have the edge guard. Oh no.
It. Oh man, it's the flubs. It's not what you want to see in grand finals.
But he does get the jab forward
gets the stock. Jab is so risky. It's like, it could always be really good or really bad for you, just depending on if they remember to crouch cancel or not.
He was at such a high percent, though, he might have been able to just get away with it.
I mean, I don't know about like 140, but I've seen jabs crouch canceled at 110, 120.
Yeah.
It's a very light move.
And playing narrowly avoiding Hat's dash attack there, very clean grab. So now this conversion, if he can really, maybe not even pull up a stock here, but if he can get a solid percent lead, this will make a huge difference. This is kind of the area where you're about halfway through the game where you can really start to set momentum for yourself.
Definitely. And this is hopefully going to be into an edge guard for Plank. It's the down smash, but not the way he wanted it, and I think, yep, Hat's going to take the ledge back.
Yeah, I think Plank, I don't want to say he's struggling with edge guards because he's actually hitting them, but he's hitting them back towards the main stage.
Yeah,
so.
He's getting damage instead of stocks, and that can be a big deal when you're playing someone who is getting the stocks from you.
And I don't want to say percent doesn't necessarily matter in this matchup, but the chain grab is such a big punish that at any percent, a grab could be a stock.
Yeah,
so really
but only if you can edge guard effectively.
Yeah, exactly. So you really got to make sure to clean up the stock, otherwise you're going to be playing from behind a lot. But now, this is going to be an interesting to see who can really take control here, because I think whoever can take this stock will have a huge advantage going forward.
Definitely.
And
it's
looks
interesting.
like
I've noticed that both of these players are down smashing a lot, and neither one of them is punishing the other one for it. Not that down smash is a particularly unsafe move, but it's also not a particularly safe one. I'm not seeing any punishes on it. They're kind of just backing off.
Yeah, it's one of those moves that's it's easy to punish in theory, but a lot of the times with nerves and the fact that sometimes you get hit by it twice or 3 times, it can really mess up your timing for punishing it.
And honestly, it's good to know your own limits and be like, okay, I know I might mess this up, so I'm just not going to try it. It's not that big of a deal. It's a lot better than, you know, flubbing and getting grabbed than chain grabs.
A little bit of some tech flubs here. Plank is just trying to get his footing in main stage, but keeps being chased down pretty relentless from Hat.
It was probably supposed to be a wave dash out of shield. I'm not sure, but whatever it was, it missed the grab, so. Oh my god. The mind games.
I got nothing to say about that.
Yeah. Looking like 2 hungry boxes over here. It's a drop zone fair into possibly an edge guard.
Maybe another drop zone fair here?
Yep, definitely.
And that should clean it up. There we go. So Plank's got not much of a lead, but maybe enough if he can get a grab, but this looks pretty bad for him.
Yep. It's interesting that he would go for a nair there instead of a fair, giving Plank a lot more options in the recovery than he might have had otherwise.
Yeah, I know nair is preferred generally earlier because it does a little more percent.
It does about, I think, 2 or 3% more damage than fair does.
But fair just sends at such a good angle for edge guarding, and
absolutely,
it makes recovering so much harder.
And
so
it's also easier to sweet spot. Even though nair is bigger, it's a lot more easy to get that perfect spot with a fair.
But Hat is sitting in a pretty good position with the needles and that punish. He has got a fairly large percent lead, and just one hit here will start an edge guard.
Ooh, it's gonna be a back air into.
Tried to go for the soft back air into forward air, but Plank was able to jump out before that hit. Goes for the tomahawk jab.
I feel like maybe that was supposed to be a grab. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think very strange.
It's very good safe pressure sometimes.
Ooh,
but
and gets the reverse fair. That's gonna be it.
That's it.
Hat takes it again. Think we're gonna see a change of places in the next PR?
Perhaps.
So it's been pretty consistent. Last couple, I know that at least